Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. Don Lindsay is the Major Accounts Sales Manager at BG Products, Partners Beyond Products, a great friend of the Fixed Ops community. We want to welcome him back. Don, welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Ted, great to be back. Great to join you. Appreciate all you do in the industry.
Don, we're very grateful to you and to BG Products as well for all you do. We had Zach Fox here the last couple days. Wow, we learned a lot about what Partners Beyond Products means, and Zach did a great job taking us through all that, Don.
Zach is a great counterpart, great friend of the BG family, and does great work in the field. Very knowledgeable, young and up and comer, and really great guy.
And before that, we got the tour from Darren in Kansas. For those who don't know of the facilities that BG has got, Don, simply amazing. And, Zach also told us about the acquisition on the transportation side that BG's been involved with now to deliver those products. And, again, congratulations to you on all the success BG's having.
Thank you, Ted. Appreciate it.
All right. So, for those who don't know, Don, take us a little bit through your background and, tell us some of the things that you've done and what you do today for BG.
Absolutely. So going back, I've always been around retail. Retail's been part of my life as a very young, at 13 years old, I was unpacking paper from trailers. My grandmother started a retail store, Hallmark and office furnishings. So I've been selling pens since I was 14. And got my start into retail. And I did that through many years. More than half my life was in major retail, large department stores in Canada, managing those. And then in 2008, an opportunity came to be introduced to the BG family. And so I partnered and bought in with the Oregon distributorship. And 2008 was an interesting time to be in the automotive industry, but we learned that industry, brought different principles to the industry that for our distributorship. And then in 2020, I sold my interest in that. And in 2021, BG Corporate said, "Hey, would you join us and give us a hand with the Lithia?" Lithia for me has been fun to watch. We had one of their first stores back in 2013, and to see what they've grown to within the industry, both personally and professionally, has been fun to watch. And so my role now is supporting BG Corporate and supporting BG Corporate or Lithia, and we continue to grow with them. I think we started with the one store back in 2013, and we're at 136. So it's been a fun ride, Ted.
Wow. Don, you and I speak frequently, and I know you travel throughout the country and you visit with a lot of retailers. What are some of the challenges that you see now? Here we are in early 2023, end of January. What are some of the things that you're seeing on the challenging side in the retail automotive industry?
Sure. No surprises. I mean, we're all aware of the new car shortages and chip shortages and parts back orders. I mean, every dealership's challenged on those fronts. But what I see is the big challenge and the big opportunity, because anytime there's a challenge, there's a big opportunity. It's people, and people. Whether in leadership, whether in advisors, parts, or technicians, the acquisition of talent and people to deliver the service has been a challenge and will continue to be a challenge. We've got new blood coming into the industry, people that have never been in the automotive industry. So there's a whole new culture and dynamic being created. Technician shortages, all those things are challenging for the industry. But anytime there's a challenge, there's great opportunity. And some of these people are succeeding extremely well in the midst of this.
I agree. And like you said, there is great opportunity. Don, in your opinion, what's going to be critical to meet these challenges? We're hearing a lot of things here at the roundtable. We're hearing about dealership culture. We're hearing about process. What do you think we're going to need to do?
I think it's, again, I think there's certain principles within any organization, retail, manufacturing, engineering, doesn't matter what it is. And the principles don't change. Those principles, leadership, good process, good training, and accountability. But the principles have always been there. That's not new. I think where the efficacy is the edge in execution and the consistency to which we apply those principles. And within that, maybe just to elaborate a little bit, those fundamental principles, the ones that really succeed, are committed to executing. They find the talent in leadership. I mean, leadership for many is the ability to cast vision. Where are we going? What's our niche in the market? Where do we fit? Lithia has done a very good job. Many times, some people say silently, but they're arriving on the scene. They have a very strong mission, 5-year plan they're committed to. Them as an example, but many others. We work with large partners in our space. And it's the ability to cast that vision, know where you're going, know what your strengths are, and to what you mentioned, create a culture with a new employee base, many who aren't used to the car culture. And so it's their ability to cast that vision, adapt to change. The process piece is, and since our space is automotive maintenance, it's committed to the education of the advisor and to the customer, right? And so Zach dove into a lot of the tools that we have to support that process. And I try to keep it simple at a high level. We ask these advisors to, deal with complex compliance with OEMs, like certain things done in certain ways. There's complexity. There's, in any given brand, there's multiple models, multiple makes, multiple drivetrains, multiple engines. And so every vehicle takes something a little bit different. And then the consistency aspect. And I know, as Zach would have spoken to well, we have tools to support that.
BG Products, now over 50 years, first 50 years behind us now, we're on our next. No small feat, okay? I mean, you've got a great reach. You've got over 800 people in the field, a great distributor network, a great name, Don. And we had a panel recently here at this event with all technicians, and we talked about that technician shortage. And almost to a person, they all talked about having a great leader to work for. And that was a big part of the culture. Do you want to elaborate a little bit more on some of those needs? Drill down a little bit on that leadership and the process and the training that it's going to be needed here to take us the rest of the way.
Absolutely. And I don't think we can underestimate that. Any organization looks for that leader to take charge, to set the direction, to set the course. And that's what I've loved about BG, is that what we bring to the table, and we'll get further down to that, as far as innovation, manufacturing, training, technology, knowing your space, knowing what you're good at, and then setting a course to, in leadership, often, I think we, in the fluid world, we talk about 40-to-1 mixes, and that makes your lawnmower run really well. But in leadership, it's the ability to cast vision, create that environment where people want to learn, and then create an accountability that once we set those processes in place, that you can celebrate, that you can reward, it's contagious. It's an environment, it's a culture. And I see a lot of work being done in the field to create that dynamic, encouraging, and it's exciting to be a part of.
And you really are partners beyond products, because it's so much more. Zach shared with us and went through in some level of detail a lot of the tools that many people don't realize that BG's got out there for the retailer, including things such as BG University. And you want to just, he gave us the vision deep down on partners beyond products. Don, take us through a little bit more of what Partners Beyond Products means.
Absolutely. So when we work, what I see in the field as I travel, there are many what we talked about as far as principles and the execution of those principles is no small thing within an organization. And what we've seen is there's so many moving parts within a dealership, whether it's the variable and the F&I and the fixed. And so creating that environment is one thing. I think because of the complexities, a lot of groups are assessing and looking at partnering, strategic partners who are good in their space and can offer value add. And I know a lot of our national partners and even smaller local partners, they look for a strategic partner that they can align with in order to leverage the best of the best. And that's one of the things that we look for as a win-win-win. It's good for our customer, it's good for BG, and it's good for the end customer because you get the opportunity. And you talked about BG University, right? It's an investment. If anybody that's been to BG has seen the investment of BG into their own people to develop, to learn, to create a culture of training, sales enablement tools. And so we're excited with that investment because it cascades out to the field. And I think there's a lot of assessing. We're fortunate, Ted. We've seen the industry grow. We've grown with us. When you look at a new car dealership survey, BG's at 50% of within all of the dealerships in the U.S.
Wow.
10,000 strong that use BG. Globally, I think it's 50,000. Right? So
Amazing.
assessing strategic partnerships, and I think a lot of them would say, what I listen for is a lot of them would say it's your products, but it's your support and training. And it's the investment in that aspect that gives us the opportunity to strategically partner with large automotive groups, whether it's the AutoNations, the Lithias, the Penske's, all of those groups. We have the ability, and I think they look for that strategic piece to it.
We're speaking today to Don Lindsay of BG Products, Partners Beyond Products. Don, over the last year, we're very grateful to all the ambassadors that BG has had here at the Fixed Ops Roundtable, from people within the BG network, including your retailers. I can think of Bob Tasca, no better ambassador.
Great
who spent
ambassador.
the last two events addressing our technicians about why the automotive retail dealership space is a great place to get involved. At 2023, Don, last question for today. We see a changing retail environment. There's some uncertainty out there on the sales side, inventories, challenges that we've had with not having vehicles, changing now, used car markets, interest rates. What opportunities do you see ahead for 2023, and in particular in fixed operations, Don?
It is, I will say candidly, and in many discussions that I have the privilege of talking with throughout the country, in a dealership, it is absolutely what I call the fixed focus. Fixed absorption. Dealerships are focused. They know the challenges on the variable side. All eyes are turning to the fixed side. It is an absolutely great time to be on the fixed side of the service business. And we always like to say, Partners Beyond Product, it takes more than chemistry to be an industry leader in our space. And so many things within BG, it's innovation, it's manufacturing, it's training, it's technology. And within BG, we don't have to go to a third party in some of that. We provide, whether it's our equipment, our technology, our training, transportation, that sounds like Zach had spoke to. Yeah. We are 800 strong in the field to take and deliver and support dealerships within and so we're here to support the industry on the maintenance side of things. It's an exciting time. We're seeing great growth within the company, unprecedented growth. And we're excited to be a part of that. And so we see lots of bright future ahead. There's lots of runway on the service side of things, and with the partnerships that we've been able to forge and those that are continuing. It's an exciting time, Ted. And as you well know, and your support in the industry and your knowledge in the industry, we just appreciate the partnership with the Fixed Table, yourself, and your entire crew.
Don, we're very grateful to you and for all you do for our retailers, the support, the consistency that you mentioned. Don, are you going to be later this week at NADA?
Absolutely. We have the opportunity there. We're down the main aisle, I think booth 1421, and we'll have snippets of all of the things that we've talked about and Zach had talked about in order to support it. It's a great time to be in the industry. It's an exciting time, challenging, but exciting for what's happening, and happy to be part of it, Ted.
To our audience, if you want to reach out to one of the great leaders at BG Products, Don Lindsay will be at NADA later this week. BG always has a great booth. If you're not going to NADA, bgprod.com on the web, reach out to them there. If you're not a BG dealer, please take a look at it because there is none better in the industry. And we're very honored to have you and BG with us here today.
Appreciate it, Ted. Thank you very much. Always a pleasure.
Don Lindsay, everybody from BG Products, here today at the Fixed Ops Roundtable.